Agatha, grandmother Agatha, is going to see that you have attuned with the blade, and she's going to ask you if you'd like to know a little bit more about it.
Oh yes, tell me everything that you can.
Rikka is the lone survivor. How much health did you have left?
8.
8.
Fuck off!
You did it with 8 health too.
Good job, Rikka!
Awesome. Okay.
I could have just made the attack.
You could have just made the fucking attack, you goddamn.
It's okay.
Good job, Rikka.
And when you're around them, everyone else is around them as well, including Castonn,
Excellent.
which has just been chatting with the witches. We'll say that.
sounds about
Okay,
right.
yeah, I like
With
that.
the witches.
He's been conversing with them.
Something for the
He was in
honeys.
Congress?
So,
Congress?
congratulations on winning the first battle royale.
My one and only shot.
That's it. That's all I got.
That was
Very
fucking
nice.
fantastic.
Very
That
nice.
map was crazy.
Pansies.
That map was crazy,
That was
man.
awesome.
So,
Because it's 10 plus those two, you can make it
the last thing that y'all remember is the y'all got
-1 points.
hummed out of existence and or
Last week
chanted
was-
out
Do
of
they appear
existence.
with like a big flash of light or something, or what happens?
Maybe not a big flash of light.
Like a
when they
little flash of light?
when they disappeared in a thing of light. I guess when they reappear, they just reappear.
To the sound of.
Definitely not that. Definitely not that.
Okay, anything but that then.
Okay.
Makes like a popping noise.
So,
It was like,
Well then I will turn and say, congratulations, Rikka, on your victory.
Where the fuck were you?
They let me watch. They said it was going to be a handicap
that's
having me in
sexy.
I highly doubt it. Old fucker Nux used his fucking
It
fireball
was
necklace.
sexy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
squandered. More like he squandered.
I don't like
fireball.
everyone ganging up on me.
And I don't like getting fireball.
No, you didn't, did you? It was quite a waste. Also,
I was fine with it until Rikka.
Quiet!
we are convening. Total silence is required. And they talk amongst themselves.
Which is
They're just talking to themselves.
In the witch language.
Where's telepathy?
I think witches can speak a lot of languages.
Is there some reason you brought us here?
why'd you sit this in front of me?
I thought he was gonna kill me. He's like, death.
He's got death balls. Just throws it.
Like I said, the hags are talking amongst themselves. Roll me a perception check. Anybody. Everybody.
Anybody and everybody.
16.
Don't tell me until I ask you.
Never mind.
Okay. We're gonna go around the room like we normally do. Speed things along.
15.
Okay?
6.
22. 22.
18.
11.
11.
16.
Anybody above a 15 can hear bits and pieces of what they're saying. Basically they are, you would think it as complaining about the outcome of this particular fight, as it were.
Are they disappointed? I
You
don't
could
know
say-
anything though.
You could
'cause
say
I'm-
they were
I got a
disappointed.
6.
You could probably see on their face of disappointment. You couldn't hear what they said.
Drool.
They're pissed that the dwarf killed himself.
Can't believe that Rikka
It
one.
was.
Mind your
Did you
business.
Are you upset that Rikka won?
Know if they'll be the ones that do the job. Maybe we can put all our eggs in one
Excuse
basket.
me.
They look at you with such disdain.
I'm gonna kind of walk in front of him and be like, do you happen to know where the rest of our party's at?
You mean the 4 others?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they safe?
And it's like that. They appear right behind them.
Oh shit, okay.
So you're pretty chummy with these.
Right behind them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say we're
Why
chummy. They held me against my will.
Did they now?
It's gonna work out. Everything's
But they held you, and that's all that
We
matters.
had to kill each other, and they let me watch.
Must have been such a torture for you.
Which was so easy for us to do for some reason.
I'm a pirate. I don't like anyone.
They're still talking amongst themselves with great disdain towards the winner of this battle.
Can I kind of stealth over to her?
You want to stealth over to whom?
To Rikka. Just to stand next to her. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stealth. I'll walk over there if I can. I just want to be next to her.
Okay. They didn't pay you much attention.
Okay. Alright.
They're still talking amongst themselves.
Can I kind of wave the rest of our party over to this?
They're perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. Okay.
They know not to upset women,
Castonn.
especially Jim Jar
Castonn.
hags.
What?
What do they want?
I don't know.
What did they say to you?
They just nothing really.
Do you think they'll be the ones to do the job?
I'll discuss it with y'all later.
But they're not even paying attention to
They
us.
are.
We can talk about it right now.
Could be.
We can talk about how.
Shh.
Rikka's the one I'm worried about.
I can't hear you.
I know.
How do you know us?
Ignore you. They're getting upset.
Okay.
You are interrupting them.
Alright, yeah. Okay.
I guess we just wait in silence.
Curious, are you wearing any necklaces or anything?
We have to take a look. And
Roll a perception check.
Perception check. See if he knows if he's got his own jewelry.
Me too, brother. Me too.
I got a 1.
My beard's still singed from getting fireballed.
Well, if you weren't right next to him,
I remember.
I would say that you
horror.
would horribly, horribly suck. You look up at him, and there's a book in your way, so you can't see anything.
Because the last thing I remember is getting incinerated.
There actually is a book in my way. Look at that. It's
Okay,
convenient.
are you...
Yeah.
Do y'all want to know what happened to y'all after y'all got incinerated? Is that the deal?
Yes.
Okay. After you got incinerated, as it were, you just went to a white room. And you hung out there for a little while, and then you appeared here.
Was there mead?
Nope. Just a white room.
No wenches?
No wenches, only
No
witches.
smelly bar?
Nope.
No 72
not heaven.
virgins or whatever.
Why would you want a virgin? I'll drink to that.
Okay, we'll just wait in silence until they're done.
Okay.
I guess fast forward.
As they're sort of talking amongst themselves, like they're getting a little upset at the outcome. They're getting a little riled up that y'all were interrupting them or trying to interrupt them. And I guess the older
happened to the
of
barbarian
the three hags sort of steps back a little bit, and
Which one was it?
Older of the hags?
it'll
Agatha?
be this one. Her name's not Agatha.
It was Agatha.
It's Agatha.
Okay.
Close enough.
Is her name Agatha?
Yes. We're gonna name it maybe.
Sort of
Oh.
steps back,
Right back.
and she sort of addresses y'all as a group.
Is Arteas a hag?
And she says,
Hard barrels.
"My name is Grandmother Agatha, and bowl of candy."
Delicious.
She says,
Greetings.
She introduces herself as Grandmother Agatha, and she doesn't apologize for bringing you here. She doesn't apologize for making y'all fight each other. And she doesn't care to answer any of those questions. And she says, "And these two fine young ladies are my daughters, Polly and Peggy. You may address them as Auntie."
Auntie Peggy.
Anthropology. My intelligence isn't high enough for me to know that word.
Roll me a. What would that be? An intelligence saving throw.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be probably a 12.
You take 2
No,
psionic
that's a
damage.
10.
It's a -2.
Oh yeah. No, he said saving throw.
Right, it's still a -2.
Oh, you
though.
said you still
Yeah.
Okay. How many?
2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
You have
He
intelligence.
got hurt?
Yeah, he tried to think of a word that he wasn't comfortable saying,
But I pronounced it correctly.
You got a,
which is what hurts you.
you got a slight headache.
Got a slight headache.
I always have a slight headache when I
Okay.
haven't been drinking and get fireballed.
Why would you have that?
Take this away from me.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And I bow really deep.
Oh my god, he's so deep.
Don't disrespect us, Stor.
I apologize.
Stop mocking them.
I'm not.
So good.
I'm not mocking them. I legitimately went deep enough
Pretzels and peanuts.
to.
You went deep
caramel.
enough.
But it's got to go deeper.
Oh god damn it!
I apologize for Stor. He doesn't know when to stop talking. So I'm sorry.
That's why we're not surprised that he didn't win.
Can I ask you who you thought would win?
Definitely not her.
The guy with the fireball necklace.
But y'all were short-handed, as it were.
Can we ask you why
Is that a jab at
was? Can we ask you the way that was? Why separate us from one of our party? Some of our party. Why us?
Y'all are the strongest out of y'all's group. And he might be the strongest out of all of you. We needed to have a one-on-one with him.
This guy? Really?
Yes.
Says the dwarf that jumped into the fire.
I'm going to turn to him
Elegantly.
and say, don't look down on me.
I'd have to bring a step stool.
Is it weird seeing them here?
Yes.
Okay.
Number one, none of y'all probably ever seen a hag.
Do we all know how dangerous they are though?
Roll me
It's
a...
arguable that they've seen sea hags before, yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've been
Roll
married
me-
to a hag before.
Anyone who's proficient in
Not those
religion or
guys.
history,
Oh, okay.
you can roll me a check.
In what?
Religion or
One of
history.
us.
Nope.
Roll away, Drake.
I will.
They are hags.
Man.
You don't have history?
broken.
You don't have history?
Don't worry about it.
It's the same.
Natural 20.
Oh,
So, 28.
Yeah, I got a 13.
A 13? Which was that? Religion?
14.
A 14 in religion?
history.
Oh, and you were in history? Oh, in both?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same.
You would, JR would probably know enough about hags not to run his mouth around one. So maybe you should be on your best behavior. And you would know also not to mess around with them, especially a whole bunch of them. Especially the Coven of Covens. Which you would probably understand that this hag who is talking to you is
Agatha.
old, real old. Grandmother Agatha. That's her title, grandmother. So, you would probably know more than others about when they're in covens, that they can do a lot more things.
Oh yeah.
But you would also understand that hags hate dealing with covens almost entirely. Some of them hate it. And have multiple covens at the same spot at the same time is really
It's
unusual.
a coven convergence.
It's a coven convention.
A convention.
It's
Thank
a
you.
convention.
Convention.
Convention?
It's a
Convention.
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 So this coven convention is number one, really unusual.
Is there only 3 right now?
No, the rest of them are probably back over there.
Okay.
They're not surrounding you,
There's about 40
enchanting or
of them?
anything. There's about 40 of them. Yeah.
If I had
So-
to estimate about 12 covens.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of
But that's
covens.
like actual data to back that
So
up.
that's a little bit of backstory about that role. In
It's all on you, bro. It's all on you,
This
man.
game or the last game when we landed on an island and all the hags showed up? Okay. Just getting my story straight.
I almost got the names of the last one.
Is there anything you want to do, Stor? Is there a reason why you moved over there to Rikka in particular? Were you trying to whisper sweet
In
nothings in
particular?
No, it just didn't seem like. It didn't seem like you enjoyed her company very much, so I thought I'd give her some good company and
Protect her?
I don't think I could protect
She
myself
don't
against
need
you.
that.
I'm not going to try to underestimate you.
Are me and Deimos
That's the
far enough
wisest
away?
thing you've done so far.
We're literally right next to each other, but
I mean, are we far enough away that I could whisper to him without the
Sweet
hags hearing
nothings?
us?
Sure.
They're gonna hear you. They're gonna hear you.
No. I'll let you go.
You should know that
Okay,
they're going to hear you.
I just want to lean over to Deimos and I want to point at one of the hags out in the crowd. Is that Raven? That's Hag Raven, right? That is so Raven. That's her. We know her. Back in the day.
And before you could finish that, the hag that's seemingly about 10 feet in front of you vanishes out of existence and vanishes right in front of you. And grabs your hand before you can move it back to your body and says, "Don't mess with us, little man."
Yes, ma'am. Little's a bit harsh.
It's pretty accurate.
Okay.
Fair enough.
She's never seen him with his pants off.
So you're wondering why we all have you down here. I can read it in most of y'all's thoughts, as it were.
We have thoughts?
I don't.
She said most.
Most.
What's most mean?
Does Rikka, do you have something new now? Seems like you got something new in your hands.
The prize I won.
How's it work? Is it gonna help you in this situation?
Quiet!
There.
And with that, the grandmother hag,
Agatha.
Agatha, starts.
Grand Agatha.
Grand Agatha starts,
The
They don't like
witches
to
are
see
starting to break dance.
and it seemingly seems that time has slowed down in this instant, and they come straight to you first, and they place their hand on you. Okay.
wait, does it slow down for us or around us?
Nobody can move.
Okay.
It's just like, in an instant, you just basically freeze. You sort of know what's going on, but at the same time, everything else is moving around you in real time, but to you it's real quick. And the hags are approaching each and one of y'all individually, all at the same time. But it's happening really quick. So quick that maybe roll me a perception check to see if y'all even notice it even happening.
Luck.
You can roll luck. I don't think you don't get that.
It's gonna be one of those days where I just shouldn't roll anything.
I might need different dice.
Okay,
Go
go for it.
15.
Don't notice it.
9.
16.
Don't notice it.
11.
Don't notice it. Don't notice it.
17.
Don't notice it.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of y'all was real close though.
It's gotta be
Okay.
20.
Okay. So basically this happens in a split second to y'all, and y'all don't even have time to react. So,
You could have just said that.
no, well,
Yeah,
I
should have
I
started
wanted to
with
give
that.
y'all the benefit of the doubt. Maybe someone could.
No, I like
Realize
that. I like
something
that.
was
I like
going on.
having the chance.
Okay. The grandmother Agatha comes up to you and places her hand on your face. You see a dwarven tomb. It's being over time it's being dilapidated to a sense where there's cobwebs and spiders, big spiders and cobwebs. But you can imagine it was once a great dwarven city, town, as it were. You done writing that down?
Yes.
Okay.
You okay? You want to have it?
No, I just want you to hear Google.
Okay.
You get 2.5. Is it to take 5?
You unwrapped it.
All
so
right.
it's over.
You also
Just
see
drop the candy bar.
a very familiar
Oh,
gnomish
yeah.
creature.
Do I know this? Is it?
And he's pleading with a council to accept you into the council, and they are not having it. Roll me a perception check real quick.
Sounds like Star Wars.
Nat 20. Okay. While you're having this vision, you understand what the this gnome fellow is saying to the council and what the council is saying back. Yeah.
Okay.
While you're having this vision, it seems like you were physically there.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the sort of perspective that you have, and the gnome fellow is begging them to let you on the council, and the council says, basically, no way. We won't let one of yours join our council.
Racist?
You are too unruly.
Unruly?
Unruly. That's the word I was looking for. Unruly. Okay. So, with that, you hear the gnome fellow, who has his face turned away from you, say, at least he's down there dealing with what you won't. And that vision ends. Okay. And as soon as that vision ends, you have another one. That same sort of gnomish figure is at a tower. And he's working on something. Roll me a perception check to see if you know what he's working on. Okay. Oops.
This is like the beginning of the video game.
This feels very video game-ish.
17.
Okay. That's good enough to know what he's working on. He is working on what appears to be a staff.
Okay.
Okay.
He's in a tower?
He is in a tower working on a staff. He is, you sort of maybe would recognize the tower as a place where other, I guess, students would go to learn. Specifically, the craft that he teaches.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. You ready to have the other vision?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus.
You see yourself back inside the dwarven tomb.
Okay.
This time, you see another very familiar figure. One that you've also encountered here recently. One Olaf Varen. And she has a piece of paper.
Baron.
And that's the Childreth, right?
Mm-hmm. And as she's walking away from you, she sort of seems to speak a word, and this wall opens, and she shuffles into the wall. Roll me a perception check.
Not nat 20.
Okay. With that, you can sort of follow her in as a vision, and
Do I hear what word she says?
I would say you would, but I don't have the word just yet, so
Okay.
I'll get back to you. And with your vision, you follow her in, and she seems to place this note down on a pedestal next to a golden nugget. Okay. And then as soon as that one ends, you see you are in a city, and you see a book, and as your vision starts to fade, that zooms out, is really close to the book. You don't understand what it says on the pages. It's no language you've ever seen before in your life. As it zooms out, you see another very familiar person that you might have traveled with.
Okay.
Boopido. And as it zooms out more, he's in sort of a crowded area.
Okay.
Your vision then just ends, but you're paused. Like, basically how this plays out is y'all all have your visions at the same time, and when your vision ends, everyone else's vision ends, and the time goes back to normal. Okay. The same grandmother Agatha comes up to you.
I didn't know we all got visions.
Oh, yes.
I should probably take a note.
You see a hand come up to your face, and you have a vision. It is a dwarven tomb, and it's in its heyday. It's all lit up, and having a big festival. All these dwarves. You wouldn't recognize any of them. You're not related to any of them. That's a dwarven joke I like to tell, but.
You know.
Short and to the point.
Short and to the point.
Roll me a perception check to see who did live here, though. I'll let you do that.
I forget what to add to that. You should have every time. I got a 6.
Total.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that hard to tell. This was a
There's signs up everywhere.
real high up dwarven ancestry. This is the home of the ancestors of Bruno or Battlehammer.
The old foaming mug, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I know one thing.
You've got backstory.
I actually read a book once.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Series of books.
What are
A series
books?
of books.
so it's this big dwarven city. Like I said, in its prime, everyone's having a festival. At least it seems like a festival. And that vision ends, and it sort of goes seemingly into another place, or another, room inside this huge dwarven outcropping. And it's not a festival at all. It's a funeral, and there's a lot of people there showing their respects. And they're showing their respects to a very strong dwarven warrior. And you see a sarcophagus, and on the sarcophagus, like on the top of it, there's like a golden inlay of this dwarven figure, and he's crossed, not like a mummy or whatever, but he's holding his hammer right in the middle of it. And that vision ends. Okay? And as soon as that vision ends, you see what you would probably assume as the very close relatives of this slain warrior piece out some of his armor to very close family relatives of this dwarf. Maybe sons and daughters, maybe brothers and sisters. It's kind of hard to tell. But you do know the pieces of armor that they're piecing out. One is a helmet, and the other is a breastplate. Very fancy, might add you.
Super fancy.
Super fancy.
Fly as hell.
Like I said, this was
Pretty
it's not
fly for a
every
dwarf
day
guy.
where a whole bunch of dwarves show up for a funeral to mourn the loss of a great dwarven warrior. Okay, that your vision ends. They go to Rikka. Okay.
Shit. This is what I'm interested in.
your vision has you standing in a room, and you are surrounded by children basically on their deathbed. They are not doing very well at all.
That's sad.
Okay. You hear a voice behind you, and all the voice says is, choose. Okay. You also see that vision ends, and there's another vision that you have. And it's sort of from your perspective. You see a... Well, roll me a perception check. Well, that'll determine what she sees.
8.
Okay,
Look
well,
that shit up.
it is very close to your
Okay.
perception, so it's not like you're looking at something really far away. So, you see a figure in front of you. The figure has light blue skin, like a palish blue eyes, ethereal wings that seem to be there but not be there at the same time, and hair that's like super blonde, almost white. It feels like it's like a radiating power. And you also see certain runes on this figure's face, and the runes look almost, I would say, Norse in nature. And you can hear her say the word Valendros. Do you want me to spell that for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
V-A-L-A-N-D-R-A-S. Valendros.
Gotcha.
And that vision sort of ends, but it picks up maybe what you can imagine 10 minutes afterwards, because you're in the same sort of spot, but all hell's breaking loose. And you hear the name Valendros over and over. Valendros, Valendros, sort of in a panicky situation. And then you hear somebody say, do what must be done. Okay?
Okay.
And that ends your vision. Okay. They go to... Who would they go to next?
I think Stor cut in line.
Yeah, Stor did cut in line. But they ain't gonna go to Stor first. They're gonna go to Gibraltar. They come up to Gibraltar. Same thing. They put
Santa Claus.
their hand on your face. Okay.
Literally has 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Take one down, pass it around.
Your vision starts with
That vision ain't started yet.
In character.
Always in character.
your vision starts
More mess than normal.
with a very massive axe. But it's being wielded by somebody that is also very powerful.
Oh, piss.
Okay. That vision ends. You have another vision. It starts with you being seemingly the commander of a squadron of barbarians. There is a banner. Go ahead and roll me a perception check to see if you
Oh, I'm not using that one.
see the actual outlining of this banner.
Perception?
Yes.
20, not net.
Okay. With that, you see that you would assume that the people that you're right over, like I said, you are commanding this group of barbarians, and behind them are banners that are laid out in red, and they have like an outline of a guard drake. And a guard drake is a sort of a flightless dragon, as it were. Sort of like a dog almost. It'd be like a dog to you since you're so big, but it's like a flightless dragon, like a Komodo dragon, really. And that's the banner on these, or that's the image on these red banners. Okay. That vision ends, and you see a very familiar half-orc who you would recognize as your first mate when you were a pirate.
Pirate.
And he's holding something. It is not paper, but it's about this big. Maybe a map, maybe something else.
On human flesh.
Maybe human flesh. But as you're seeing this particular vision, you hear music. And it's not like a whole band is playing. It's just like one instrument. And it's not a whole song. It's just maybe 3 or 4 notes of the song, and it stops and repeats, and it stops and repeats. So you hear just that. But it's like on the wind almost, because the dude's at sea. So it just sort of, that just sort of is what you hear. But when the time comes, if you'd say, hey, do I remember that tune? I don't have the tune. We'll get it to you. So that's your vision. Your vision ends. Okay. They go to Stor, finally. You see a vision of a woman that you would recognize as your ex-wife.
The first one, or the second, or the fifth one?
I only had one.
And no talking. And she goes out to a dock every day. And every day she goes out to the same dock, and she's waiting. Stop ruining the story, Gibraltar.
He knows dogs.
Am I there?
No, you're not.
I'd also know X's.
Behind her, you see 3 young, fine boys. Seasons change. You see, summer turn to fall, turn to winter.
Are they my kids?
You would imagine they would be. And every day, this woman goes out and she stands by the docks.
With them?
They're in the background. You can see them age, as it were.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask.
So, you see your son's age, and your wife age too, along with that. And then one day, you just see your wife out by the docks.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys are gone. Okay. That was the first vision.
Do I know the dock?
You would recognize it as the dock where you were originally from. One of them, anyways. You have a vision of 3 almost adult men fighting. They're scuffling about something. That vision ends. Okay. Let me just mark these off because they're kind of loud.
Were they saying anything while they were scuffling?
That vision happened really quick. Okay. Okay. So, with that, you see a vision of your wife again. And it's sort of real close up on her. You see her face perfectly fine. You know it's your wife. Or,
Is she older?
yes. Not as old as you are now.
Right. Okay.
And it sort of pans off and down to her feet, and she's shackling herself. Out in the open, mind you. She's shackling herself. And she jumps off a cliff. And the moment she jumps off a cliff, you see 2 adult men standing behind her, one with a book.
Do I know him?
You would recognize them as two of your sons. Okay.
I think he's really mad.
Okay.
Okay.
Just two of them?
Just two
Which
of them.
ones?
You would know them as your sons because they look like you, but you haven't seen your sons' faces since they were little. Okay.
Did they push her?
No, one of them is reading a book. The other one is behind him.
She's just bungee jumping.
Okay.
Through the chains.
Then you see a vision of another son, and he's standing in front of two tombstones, where you would recognize this place as the city that you and your wife settled in, and has tried to raise your children. You see this gentleman, and he's wearing some pretty decent armor, and he's in front of two tombstones, and roll me a perception check to see if you know what's on these specific tombstones. Okay. What was it?
18.
Well, that's good. Okay. So one tombstone has the word Bran on it, and it says "beloved brother." The other one, this gentleman is kneeling in front of, has the name of your wife. And this gentleman that's kneeling in front of them is not alone, but you don't see the other fella he's with. But you hear him say these words. The one that's kneeling in front of the two tombstones. He says, "Until the endless sea meets the boundless sky, I bind myself. Until the winds of time grind the mountains to dust, I bind myself. Until the thirst of my vast desert is quenched by my blood in the sands, I bind myself." Okay? Then he pauses for a little bit, and he says, "Should my sword be sheathed on blood, may my strength be withered. Should my oath be discarded, may my voice be silenced. Should my quest for vengeance falter, may my soul be damned." And the gentleman that's behind him, you hear him say, "It is done." And that vision ends.
And the guy behind him is no one? No one I know?
No one you know. Okay, that vision ends.
That's convoluted as fuck.
Oh, well, it doesn't end before you... Okay, roll me go ahead and roll me another perception check. Yeah, roll me another perception check.
Last luck.
Okay, go for it.
God.
What was it?
Can he add those two together?
14. 14
No,
total.
14's pretty good. 14, you would see the front chest piece of this man kneeling down. The man looks a lot like you. On his chest piece is a gauntlet. You would assume that he is in the order of the gauntlet. Okay. That vision ends. You have another vision. 3 men are in a room.
Stor's over here just like,
One of them is confronting the other 2. He is not happy. "I know what you've done, brothers. We're going to put an end to this right now. I know what you've done."
3.
And you could probably assume that they've done some pretty bad things. And you could probably assume that they're going to do more bad things. So,
I recognize any of them.
you do.
How many?
3 of them.
Do they all look like me?
They all look like you. So, the son doing the talking shouts out, you know, what would he say, actually? He's upset at the moment. Bran, don't follow your other brother. Don't follow Tannen. He's not right in the head. You still have a choice. And you hear the other brother, the one he's talking about. It's too late. We already have the book. We will learn its secrets, and before too long, we will be powerful. And with that, the one that said that last line would try to attack you. And in the shuffle...
Attack
No,
me?
sorry. Attack... Brain fart. Not attack you. Attack the one speaking.
The good.
Bran?
No.
Tammin.
Tammin was the one speaking.
Okay.
Bran was
Anndos?
the... Lander.
Lander.
Yes.
You actually went through with naming your kids after the BLT sandwich?
Yeah.
Huh?
I thought you were joking.
No.
What?
Whenever you said you were going to name your kids after a BLT.
Okay, that's So,
That was a joke.
so
Mad respect.
this is
canonical.
Tannum speaking to Lander.
Canonical
You
sandwich.
can probably assume with that information that Lander is the one trying to put an end to this. Okay. So, Tannum, basically says to Lander that we'll be powerful soon enough. And with that, Lander whips out his sword, and in the shuffle, he accidentally kills Brian. Okay. Do.
Weirdly
Auto
cheerful.
save.
Fucking ass.
Now
Okay.
you can't go back. Auto
The,
saved.
With that, as soon as Lander strikes down Bran, it was a complete accident. Lander knows this. You see your son basically stop what he's doing and tries to fix his brother after he cut him, and he's dying, right? The other brother, Tannum, sees this as an opportunity and escapes. The wound was too much, and Bran dies.
Next.
Bran, sorry. Not Bron! Okay.
Bra.
You see another vision of Tannum, and he's frail, he's skinny, he's devoted himself to this book. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
You just like making roll those.
I do. What is it? Anything other than a crit
8.
1? Okay, 8. Good enough. This book is brown with gold inlays on it. It is not a great book to have. You can tell that it has corrupted your son, Tammin, to the point where he hasn't eaten. He hasn't slept. He's sleepy. And he almost looks dead in nature.
Is he pale? Is he...
Pale. Mm-hmm. But you still recognize him as your son. It cuts that vision, and it goes to another vision.
It's like 5.
And
Shit.
the vision is of a younger, more healthy Tannum on a very familiar vessel that you may or may not have been on before. As it zooms out, you see a tiefling woman. As your vision ends, that is... Let me make sure that's all of it. That is all
Does
of
it
it.
look like they're just in the middle of the ocean?
It looks like he's using her as a means to escape. Okay. That was the end of the visions. As this ends, everything goes back to normal in an instant. Y'all have y'all's information. No one knows it except for y'all. Y'all
Does
have your
anyone
own,
else want to go throw up?
your all's own personal information. Like I said, nobody knows it, so nobody can use that metagame. Okay.
I figured a name for my report.
Rikka, you aren't feeling so well after this. As the hag touched you, it sort of hurt the hag just a little bit. So when the instant stops, all you see in front of you is a hag, and she's basically doing this to her hand. Roll me a perception check.
Like she picked up a hot skillet.
Nat 20.
Okay. With a nat 20, you see, as she's shaking her hand, sparks of electricity sort of burned her, electrical burn, and she's, "Ow, that hurt like a bitch." You also have blurry eyesight. Okay. About this time, the hag that was doing the commotion, you know, basically she's cursing you out for what you've done to her. You burned her pretty good. And the other hag sort of see this, and the three main coven ladies, Agatha, Polly, and Peggy, come up to you. And with pretty much disdain and disgust towards you, they ask you some questions, particularly. They say, Agatha says, "Do you know what you are?
What do you mean?
Do you know where you came from? We can see through this ploy.
What? I'm from the north.
Don't fool us.
I'm
You
fooling
are not as you seem, young woman. You have powers you have yet to even tap into. Right now, I bet you are having headaches from blurry vision. Take those goggles off your head."
I'll take the goggles off.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
It's like Spider-Man.
It's dark.
We can all hear this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
17.
Okay. With the 17, as you take your goggles of the owl off, or goggles and I forgot what they're called. Your goggles off. It seems that you don't even need them.
You gained night vision?
So, but you still have a little bit of a headache. Okay? So, the one that was basically got hurt by you tells you to place your hand on your head. Okay? You place your hand on your head. Roll me a concentration check real quick.
Concentration is just con.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay. With that, you feel like your headache and your blurry vision go away for good. And the hag grandmother, grandmother Agatha, says, "See, you're not as you think you are. You're special.
Not as what as I think I am.
We can't tell you that. We don't want to step on anyone's feet." And with that, you hear this boom, crack of lightning, even down here in the Underdark, really loud, really big crack of thunder.
What the hell was that?
And basically, the grandmother hag says, "There are some things we wish not to intervene with. This is one of them. You, young one, will have options in your near future, and we will not step in the way." Okay. So that was that. Hand this to her. This is stats for your Dawnbringer, your weapon.
Okay. You're still not familiar with visions.
Okay. You can read over that for a little bit. I'm gonna get me a drink of soda pop.
I haven't stopped staring at her.
He's about to.
Agatha?
Yeah.
Agatha? She notices this.
Stor, are you okay?
No?
Okay.
Why is it that you are focusing on me, Stor? I wasn't the one that left her family. I wasn't the one that abandoned children.
Yo, ho, yo. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Why are you showing us this? Why are you making us see what's happened in the past? And what's happening now?
Everyone,
What I don't even know is true.
everyone has
Or are they?
their options. Everyone can
Oh, yeah, they're
either
going
believe or not believe in the visions that we've showed them.
Why do you need us? What do you need us for?
We
This isn't
need-
fucking random.
We need you to help us out. As your friend Castonn knows,
You're goddamn 40 of you. What the fuck can we do?
I've got an axe.
sometimes it's not about the size of the coven or the amount of hags you have in one area. It's about the size of the ocean.
Those were visions? I thought they were yesterday pictures.
Yesterday. God damn it! That was funny, bro. Okay, that can do it. That can do it. They're answering your question on why they need you.
There's fucking better ways to get us to help you than showing us this fucking shit.
What did you see?
We showed you that so you can know your future, or your mistakes you've made in your past can
Has that
curb your
happened?
future.
Has all that happened?
That's for your discretion if you want to believe it or not. Us hags are not in the business to lie right now when we need helps of others, especially a
Help with
group
what?
of adventurers as scummy as y'all.
Help with what?
I feel like that's a dig on me still.
This is where the fun begins.
You,
Is it about that motherfucking big giant that we saw?
You mean Demigorgon?
I don't know what the fuck it is.
It had noodle arms, that's all I remember.
They want us to kill that. Along with all the other ones.
All six
The
of them.
demon
huh?
lords.
You might as well have just fucking killed us.
It can be done. You can be redeemed. And with that, all the hags vanish.
Oh.
All at one time.
That question. That question.
Did you have any questions for
You had
me?
like 6.
I got a question. They're okay with being called hags? Because most days that's an insult.
Yes.
But they are hags.
Okay.
Oh, so, okay.
It's
With
their
that-
preferred pronoun.
The
Triggered.
spell of silence drops on the NPC
Haggard.
remaining characters. They didn't hear any of that. They see what went on. They see mostly everything, but they didn't hear anything. So
To be fair, the smartest one of them is a mushroom.
yes,
So,
It's a good thing he's with me then.
and you can imagine that they were also in the slowed down
'Cause
effect
I like
as well.
mushrooms.
So really, in the course of maybe 5 minutes, all this stuff happened, if that. Okay, so
Are they watching us the whole time?
They said they were not watching us, but they know an awful
They
lot
know
about us.
fucking everything.
Yes, they were very vague with me.
No.
so you're asking if they're still watching us?
If they're fucking still watching us. I mean, I can only assume they fucking know everything.
I would imagine. Don't cuss them yet.
We've got to fucking get out of here.
Yes, we do.
okay.
Look behind you.
Where
the coven's gonna be.
Mind y'all, y'all are probably,
Or below.
I think it was what, 2 days away from Grapplestew,
Mhm.
I would say. Now, Rikka, you do not need the goggles of the owl anymore, so you can do with that as you want.
What's her range up to?
Standard dark vision range.
60 feet?
I'll give you
Mhm.
5 gold pieces for him.
I'll let you have them for free.
Thank you.
Rikka, I want
You got the
to...
shroom.
better if you have them anyway. I can cast Dark Vision on this.
I want to complain
Okay.
about that recent transaction where you could have made some gold.
Dark Vision gives me a whole new meaning now.
You
Oh,
know, you
God.
never fought for those, remember?
And then he tried to kill us.
Who did?
We didn't actually die.
Who tried to kill you?
No, that was play fighting.
That was play fighting.
The majority of you tried to kill me.
That was
One of
you?
did.
Oh, I thought it was some other guy who had plenty of fireball necklaces.
Oh!
Alrighty.
I don't see a
So,
fireball
are y'all
necklace. What
going
you
to
talking
continue
about?
y'all's adventure
I tried to
to
look.
Grackle Stew?
First, I'll walk over to the NPCs and make sure they're all okay.
Okay. They are a
I'm
little
reading in
freaked
my
out,
book.
but
Over my notes.
Sarith seems to not be as freaked out because he, as a drow guy living in the Underdark, he would probably have not dealt with this many hags before. That's what he's freaking out about. He's concerned at what they might have said to you, but he's not going to pry into it. He doesn't want to have anything to do with that, and that's about the whole consensus with all the NPCs. They don't want to know anything. Their disposition towards y'all might have changed a little bit in the sense that now shit's gotten real. They might not want to travel with y'all, but y'all don't know that yet. That might be a thing that's going to happen. You can tell from their body language that they're
Uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, they're uncomfortable. So
I pull him aside. Deimos.
Deimos, go for it. You want to resist?
I just want to step back.
How forcefully are you pulling me aside?
Just pushing slightly.
Okay, I'll go.
I want to take Stooley and just squeeze him. Just hug
Okay.
him. Rub him.
Gently.
No,
I-
really hard.
Now we can all hear each other's thoughts.
I need you. Not like that, you fucking prick. I need help getting out of here.
Are you like whispering?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Careless whispers.
I just
We'll say that you pulled them far enough
Yeah.
aside that no one can hear you. I won't even let people roll.
I want to be free of this fucking hell that we're in.
I think.
And if
for
there's a way to get out of here, then we have to take it. If we have to fight that fucking Demigorgon, fine, but that's not... There's no fucking way.
No.
We need to leave. And I need you to be on my side for this.
Okay, so fireball. The first time I think we're in complete agree with everything you just said.
I don't...
In complete agree.
Complete agree.
I can cuss.
You can cuss.
I don't think we have the trust, the luxury of not trusting anybody now.
I know.
And I feel like that most of our party has... Did you have a vision?
Issues.
Oh, I had a vision.
Because I did too.
It's like eating popcorn.
May I please the DM?
You already have, my son.
And I still get no inspiration tokens.
He made a funny joke about a yesterday picture.
Hey, yo, let's get one of them cherry sours.
What about me, my lord?
Fuck you.
One moment, Stor.
Rikka,
Go for it.
can you read my brain?
Go a
Okay.
little closer. Come a little closer. No, I'm not getting nothing. I'm not getting.
So it's working.
Maybe you're,
It's working.
I knew it.
Alright.
maybe you're too low. to
Continue
go.
y'all's exposition.
She would give you a haircut, weren't your head so short? You're so close to the ground.
You'll be 8 feet tall in the next game.
I will do everything in my power to help you with whatever you need out of here. But I need help getting out of here.
I think we can do
Sorry about in there.
Nobody's sorry about what they did in there.
it. Bygones will be bygones, I
The
suppose.
Thunderdome takes no prisoners.
Literally nothing else matters now.
I'd do it again.
It wasn't the first time I died. It won't be the last. That was the first. Did we die?
Okay.
For what it's worth, you have my beard.
No, I have it.
The traveling party wishes to continue. Zareth speaks up. Zareth is like, if you would kindly let us move on to Gracklestew, that would be most prevalent to our situation.